Cinco de Drinko! There we go, guys. Happy Cinco de Mayo. There we go. We're doing it. Cheers, guys. It is Cinco de Mayo. And I'm okay to do that because I am half Mexican. So cheers. How's everybody doing today? Huh? I know it's on a Monday, so not like anybody. I'm not going out. It's even raining outside. I wish I had tequila, but you know, gotta stick with the vodka. The vodka, of course. So welcome, guys. It is the 5th of May. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend, and yeah, let's have some fun. Oh, we got some things to talk about. That's for damn sure. Turn that down a little bit. I don't want it to drown me out. Anyways, okay, so yeah, subscribe to the channel, hit that like, thumbs up. We'll have some fun today. We got some things to talk about. I did it again, guys. I kind of ruffled some feathers on you know, not just one fandom, but also another one too. I did both, so I was trying to give equal to both. So anyways, all right, who's out there? Let's see. We got Cloned Avenger. What's happening? Finally watched Thunderbolts, ended up loving it. All the actors were fantastic, but the standout for me was Lewis Pullman. Well, he is the president's son. I mean, of course, a century, and I loved how comic accurate his portrayal was. Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What's going on, Kenny? Hope your Monday is going well. Yeah, not too shabby. I just didn't sleep all that well last night, so I'm a little, you know. What's going on, Game City here? We've got a bunch of live action late more than one per decade. But Tom Welling will always be more special to me because Christopher Reeve officially passed the torch to him. Yeah, didn't Christopher Reeve he showed up on Smallville, right? Too bad most people don't think Tom is special enough to pass the torch to Tyler or Henry. Yeah, I think it's just because of the fact that it was Smallville. I don't know. All right, Monique, what's happening? Happy Cinco de Drinko to you, too. You're making some homemade carne asada tacos. Also, happy birthday to Henry Cavill, who, of course, is turning 40. Yes, he very much is. On Cinco de Mayo, I forget about that. So, yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Henry Cavill. Happy birthday, you good-looking son of a bee. All right. His first birthday as a dad. So yeah, happy birthday to Henry Cavill. Now we're going to talk about something when it comes to that too, because man, fandom, the DC fandom, it's just never a dull moment, I tell you. What's going on, Lane? Sir, good to see you, bud. Howdy, Stephanie T. Haven't seen you in the chat in a little bit. Great to see ya. Ahoy! What's going on, Mr. Ole? Oh, what is it? Ole? Yeah, of course. Again, lack of sleep. Good to see you, Eric. We got D-Man 7. What did Affleck say? Well, we're gonna show it, of course. So, why do I think of Jose whenever? How dare you, sir? You stereotyped, huh? You're canceled. You're canceled, Lane. What's going on, Versus Seed? Good to see you, bud. We got Samir right here. What if the Superman trailer drops this week and not next week? That would be pretty crazy if that were to happen, but all bets are that it is sometime next week, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see. And we got Third Eye Dreamer, no more trailers. I'm scared enough. No more trailers. He's scared, guys. Cortez, Thunderbolts was pretty decent. I like how Marvel changed up the fanfare opening to show the Thunderbolts comics. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We got Freeze's. Is Batfleck back? No, he's not back, but we're going to talk about what he said because I tell you what, I got a little crazy. Yesterday into today. You know, I did that thing again. And then, of course, the Giants are freaking losing to the Cubs. I got the game on right there. It's 5-2 Cubs. What the hell, man? I don't know what happens, but yeah, guys, make sure you guys hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, happy Cinco de Mayo if anybody's celebrating. Seems like Monique out there is definitely celebrating. When it comes to tacos, I thought about that too. I didn't even think of it. I was like, oh man, I had a ribeye, which was really good. You know, I could have put it in a taco, I guess, but But anyways, cheers, guys. Cinco de Drinko. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Pretty relaxing weekend for me, for sure. I didn't do anything. Didn't really, I met up with some friends. Went to a brewery on Saturday. Had some awkward moments there. All of a sudden I'm, okay, so this is what happened, guys. Okay, so this is what happened. This is funny. I mean, first off, there was an awkward moment that happened between my friend and her boyfriend, which never sit between. Well, I don't know how this happened, but you ever get to like a spot where you're gonna be at a bar, or you're gonna be in seating that is lined up next to each other? It's never a good thing when a couple sits and there's a seat in between them, and then you just kind of go, all right, I guess I'm sitting in between you two. Yeah. You ever have that happen? It's always like a weird, and then of course something awkward happened where you're just kind of going, why am I sitting in between you two? Well, obviously it didn't end well when it came to that. And then, when we're at this brewery, right? I've been here many times. I'm kind of becoming like a regular. It's a nice little brewery. But then all of a sudden, the bartender, who's one of the owners of the brewery, she starts asking me questions as if I'm filling out a dating profile. And I went, what the hell's going on here? And then sure enough, she was basically going, I got a friend, and I just wanted to know, and that I was thinking about setting you up with said friend. And I went, not the setup. And I just said, okay, well, if you're going to set me up, just don't tell me that it's happening. Just, if I show up, she's here and something happened, fine. So, yeah, it was like one of those things where, and then, of course, as I'm there, it's just like me, my friend, and then like two other ladies, and we're all just kind of talking. It was like, okay, time to get out of here. I was like trying to be like the Homer in, the GIF, just to back into the bushes or whatever the hell. So it was kind of funny, but anytime I get into those kind of awkward situations, I'm sure you guys, anybody who's been watching me for a bit, I crack jokes. And the more awkward things get, like in reality, I start cracking jokes. That's just what I do. If I feel awkward, I crack jokes. I'm just going, zing, 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 zing. So just good times. But yeah, fun times. And then, of course, Sunday was just kind of like a relaxing day. Did a lot of work and yeah, stirred the pot a little bit when it comes to all this stuff. But good to see everybody out here. Who else we got here? I only got somebody named Snyder Bros who retracted a comment. Can I? Let's see. Can I see that? No, I can't see the comment that was retracted. Let's see. What's up from... Oh, okay, so that's Trav. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, oh, you changed it to Snyder Bros. Okay, that's Travis right there. Good to see you. And then, of course, you have Rhea out there as well. All right, guys, let's start diving into it, man. And let's start off with this right here, because, my God. Good to see you guys, of course. Howdy, Missy Bot. There, that's pretty funny. All right. Let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start off with this right here. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember this? Do you guys remember? It's crazy. It's been like I think it's been 3 years. But Rust, the Alec Baldwin Western, where the cinematographer got shot by Alec Baldwin because a loaded gun was on set. And yeah, that whole mess of a situation that happened. Well, we got the director talking about this, and it's not good. It's really not good what he had to say about this whole situation, because the movie is out. I don't know if you guys know this, but the movie is out. So we got the article right here from the Hollywood Reporter. Rust director regrets movie, rather hit myself with a frying pan than watch Baldwin's reality show. Huh? So yeah, he's this director. What's the director's name? Joel Souza. So he's got some quotes right here talking about that. I'd been repelled by the thought of going back, but then it started to appeal and I couldn't live with an idea of someone else doing it. So they finished the movie. He didn't want to do it, but he didn't want anybody else to do it. That said, Souza quite naturally wishes he could go back in time and have never made the film. Talk about the butterfly effect. I wish I never wrote the damn movie. You think about the chain of events that started that morning of the shooting. Bad decision after bad decision was made. And then he said, when it comes to talking about Baldwin, he said, "We're not friends. We're not enemies. There's no relationship." Sousa added that he hasn't watched the actor's recent cringy, cheerful family reality show. Yeah, Baldwin's wife is annoying as fuck. I don't know if you've seen videos with her, but that dude, I mean, just let that, just, if Sousa here wants to he should just watch that series and just see Alec Baldwin getting literally the life sucked out of him by his wife. She doesn't seem like a great person, just from what I've seen. Hey, data that delivers results and everything like that. Okay. Pop-up ad. But yeah, and then he said, "I was a mess going in and a mess coming out. The crew carried me through. My family carried me through. Emotionally, I was all over the map." It's just terrible, man. Jeez. Good Lord. Yeah, but I'm surprised that thing got released, but they released it and he wanted to finish it. Good on him for doing that, but this thing, I mean, that's going to haunt him for the rest of his life, right? And what's going to happen with his career? What's going to happen in the future? Is he going to be making more movies? I haven't looked him up or anything like that, but it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what's the future in store for Sousa? I mean, obviously, Alec Baldwin, he's just continuing being Alec Baldwin, even though, like I said, his wife is woo, but hey, what can you do? All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got a new popcorn bucket, and of course, it's for Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I don't know. The movie theater I go to never has good popcorn buckets. I go to a Harkins. They never have good popcorn buckets. I have two popcorn buckets. I have two Ghostbuster popcorn buckets, and I have the Bat Signal popcorn bucket, of course, which Miss Rhea right there was able to grab for me and send to me last year. And I have that displayed on the staircase with my Batman and my Batmobile. It's kind of like a cool little setup. There's like, the staircase like wraps around, so there's like a little platform right there. So I put my Batmobile that I have, and then Batman with the bat signal. It looks really cool like that. I should take a picture of that. I haven't taken a picture, but we have a Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Good God, more? Popcorn bucket. Sorry, got distracted by but there you go. So we got that right there. That's where your popcorn goes in that little tank right there. And then you get that key. You got the key that we saw in Dead Reckoning. So you get that key, and I guess that turns it, and you can open it and everything. So it's a little gimmicky, but pretty sweet. I like it. So there's your popcorn bucket for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I don't know. We'll see if the movie theater I go to is going to have that, but I don't know. The trailer for Mission Impossible was fire. Yes, it was. And all the behind-the-scenes featurettes have been fire, too. Oh, this is kind of funny as well, because you got to love it. You got to love it, because we're in the age of fake news, right? We've been in the age of it, and it just seems like it gets worse and worse and worse. So I remember hearing about this. I remember seeing the article, and I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. There was like articles being passed around talking about Matt Reeves and talking about, obviously we know that in the first Batman movie, when he was writing that, he was listening to Nirvana, specifically Something in the Way, which he used in the film, and he was listening to that song specifically a lot. Well, there was a new article that said that Matt Reeves was, when it came to the writing of the Batman 2, that he was being inspired by The Weeknd. That's right, The Weeknd. As for a possible Batman return for Kravitz, director, blah, 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 whether or not, blah, 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 blah. The Weeknd's Call Out My Name was a big inspiration for what Bruce is dealing with when we see him again. So that's what was reported in IndieWire, okay? Let's look at the tweet. Fake quote about Matt Reeves using a Weeknd song as inspiration for Bruce Wayne's arc in the Batman 2 has gone viral. It originated as an April Fool's joke. IndieWire published an article on it, unaware the quote was fake. The Weeknd himself also reshared the fake story. And it's because of It's because of Chief Mackenzie Brock right here. This account is what started it. And our Officer Martinez, it probably was. Yeah. I don't know. I think somebody's running both of these accounts. It was one of these two, and it was a fake quote. And that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious that was happening. I mean, Mike. You gotta love it. You gotta love all that. But it's like, how do you, again, journalism is just kind of dead, right? I mean, nobody actually tries to, when they write something, they're like, oh, that'll be cool. I'll just write that real quick. Get paid. It'll get posted. We're all fine, right? Ridiculous. That's just funny. But those accounts, yeah, versus C, those accounts are funny. I follow both of them. They follow me, and they're funny, you know? So, and that was just funny when I saw that. I went, I cannot believe that. Cool stuff, though. I like it. Hey! Well, we got this. Jurassic World Rebirth. So, David Coep, who, of course, not directed, but who wrote the movie, who, of course, wrote the first movie, he had something to say to Empire Magazine. We got a new shot of Scarlett Johansson, if you want to see that. Yeah, no dinosaurs, just Scarlett Johansson holding a gun because, hey, maybe one of the dinosaurs actually has a gun. I don't know. But David Coep, he said this right here. And he said right here, when he told Empire Magazine, he said, David Coep explains how Jurassic World Rebirth differs from the previous Jurassic World trilogy. They were exploring what would it be like if dinosaurs were in our environment. We wanted to explore how it felt to go back to theirs. That's Lost World in Jurassic Park 3. Am I right? That's what that is. I mean, Jurassic World, I was actually kind of into the whole idea of the dinosaurs getting to the mainland and getting into human civilization. I was kind of digging that. It's like, yeah, David, okay, I'm trusting that you wrote a good movie, but all you did was just, Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, just go back to their world. So it's just basically the first trilogy that we're going back to, right? Right, okay. Anyways, no big deal. Hey, you want to see what the biggest bombs of 2024 were last year? Yeah, we got a top 5 list from Deadline where they listed the movies that flopped the most, the ones that lost the most money, and you already know what number 1 is, right? You know what I'm talking about. Obviously, Joker 2 was number 1. It lost $144 million. Sadly, because I really enjoyed Furiosa, I thought it was a decent prequel. It wasn't, Fury Road level, but it was still a good movie. It lost 119.6. Borderlands, of course, which I have not seen, and I don't know if I'll ever see. Maybe one of these days, lost 80 million. Megalopolis, I'm surprised that wasn't number 1, but it only lost 75 million. And then, of course, Kraven the Hunter lost 71 million for Sony. Borderlands is the only one I did not see out of that list right there. But yeah, it just sucks that Furiosa didn't pull it. It's weird. It's almost like what happened with Sin City, right? When the first Sin City came out, everybody was blown away by it. Like, oh my God, look at what Robert Rodriguez did. And then he does a follow-up a few years later, probably way too long later, and it flops. We had Mad Max Fury Road, which was hugely successful in 2015. 9 years later, George Miller comes back with a prequel, doesn't capture the audience. It's so weird how that is, isn't it? But, what can you do, I guess? Ugh, just sucks. I hate that. All those other ones, though, make sense. All right, what else we got? Hey, we got Fantastic Four playing cards right here if you want to see these. Obviously, we got Johnny Storm right here. I don't know if they're releasing these, but I don't think they actually are. But of course, with the world of the Fantastic Four, naturally in the 1960s retro type of world, yes, they are going to have trading cards that have that fucking chewing gum that bubble gum that I remember when I was collecting baseball cards or Garbage Pail Kids or superhero cards. They always would stick that fucking gum in there that was always just, I mean, you could throw that at somebody and put someone's eye out. That shit sucked. And it would lose flavor within like 4.5 seconds of chewing it. Jesus Christ, the Giants are getting demolished right now. So we got Johnny, we got The Thing, we got, of course, the Invisible Woman, Miss Sue Storm, and then, of course, Reed, Mr. Fantastic. But hey, even Herbie gets himself a trading card, introducing Kirby. And then, of course, here's the package it comes in. 5 collectible cards, 1 stick of bubble gum. Ugh, don't chew it. The thing's probably been around since the 1960s. You love that gum, Stephanie? Ugh. I remember just going, I would always eat it. I'd always eat it, because why not? Not eat it, but, chew it. I wouldn't actually eat it. I probably wouldn't be alive if I did that. But, yeah, I mean, it was always just like, you'd have to, like, bite it in sections because you couldn't bend it, and then you chew it and it would just lose flavor within, like, 6 seconds. It was, it's crazy. Herbie gets one, too. Okay, I got a little beef with the trades and with these accounts that post headlines that are from the trades, but I get it. I guess I get it, but when I saw this headline, and a lot of people, when I saw the headline, and then, of course, all the headlines that came after this very news right here, a lot of us, of course, were going, and then all of a sudden you read the rest of the headline, and you go, oh, shit. I thought it was going to be something else, but turns out not. And this has to do with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. So you first read this, you go, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, re-team for untitled Amazon MGM romantic thriller. God damn it. I thought it was going to be Speed 3. The return of Jack Traven. Wouldn't that be sweet? At first when I read that, I was like, oh shit, it's happening. They're doing Speed 3 and they're coming back. Nope. But I said there's so many headlines, and every one of those like Twitter accounts were like using their images from Speed. It's like, hey, you guys realize they were also in another movie together, right? Who remembers The Lake House? Remember The Lake House? About the time-traveling mailbox? You guys remember that movie? That movie was weird. Where they were sending letters to each other through time, through this magical time-traveling mailbox at this lake house. It was very interesting, but yeah, I saw that and I went, oh shit, oh, it's finally happening now. Maybe it'll happen one of these days, but who knows? Maybe that's too late for that. Maybe it's too late. And then, yes, guys, a group of actors who are going to be in Avengers Doomsday got a personal screening of Thunderbolts, of course, and they took a little group shot. And yes, there they are right there. Mr. Duke, Mr. Downey, Mr. Rudd, Mr. Tatum, Mr. Hemsworth, Mr. What's his name again? I almost said Sam Wilson. Jesus Christ. Mackie. And then, of course, Mr. Liu, who posted the image right here. But yeah, of course, they got a nice little exclusive screening of that. And the biggest thing that I was thinking when I saw this, I went, what? No, I can't zoom in. Damn it. But looks like Robert Downey Jr. is not going to have, he's going to have like himself a little buzz cut when it comes to Avengers Doomsday, if you see that right there. So they all met up together. And then there was more people who met up. There was more people. There's probably like another image that you could see somewhere, but nah. Oh, there it is. I knew somebody had posted another image. So here's more of those people getting together right here. So they added, of course, 2 Fantastic Four members right there. And it looks like, what's his name is holding up a Pedro Pascal little standee right there, a little miniature standee. But yeah, so they also were joined right there. But yeah, look at Robert Downey Jr. He's not gonna be rocking hair. You're not gonna be having that mop that he was rocking earlier this year. Nope, he's gonna be rocking a little bit of a buzz cut while he's Doctor Doom. Cool. I was like wondering, I'm like, is he gonna be? Because he was, especially with his birthday. Remember when we showed that cover? Remember he was throwing a birthday and they had like invitations that looked like a comic book cover. and it was a Doctor Doom themed birthday for his 60th birthday, and he had that hair that he was having. He had like a pretty good like mop going on. Not anymore. Not anymore. Paul Rudd, how to rock the same face. I know, right? Paul Rudd, I mean, that dude never ages. That dude never ages. He's like 50 something or almost 50 or I don't know. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, that's right. Ryan Reynolds, he needs to get back on the good graces of people. And I think Ryan Reynolds, being the fact that he's got a marketing crew when it comes to all the different ventures that he's done, when it comes to the gin that he was rocking, Mint Mobile, and then, of course, the soccer team. He's good at marketing. He's good at PR stuff. But, you know, after this past year with all the craziness that happened with Justin Baldoni, and it's not really looking good for him and Blake Lively because, you know, Blake Lively's like, it's been a rough year and this, that. And it's like, yeah. Kind of, I've lost respect for those two a little bit. I'm not going to say I'll never see anything from them again, but it was kind of just when things were unfolding and seeing the things, it was kind of like, wow, this is kind of whatever. But I didn't want to dive deep into it. I didn't want to talk about it. People were taking sides like it was the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing, and I don't know how many times where I would not really take a side, but I'd comment about certain things. Man, did people just come out. People get so freaking tribal when it comes to this stuff. But Ryan Reynolds, obviously, hey, get back on the good graces of people. Why not talk about, obviously, something you're working on when it comes to the character that is tied to you that people absolutely love. You know, the freaking movie that made $1 billion last year. Well, Ryan Reynolds, he said that he was working on something about a couple of weeks ago. Now he kind of went into detail, and this is what he said to The Hollywood Reporter. Ryan Reynolds is writing a Deadpool X-Men team-up movie. The film would include 3 or 4 X-Men members with Deadpool as a supporting character. He has yet pitched an idea to the studio. So he hasn't even pitched it yet, but he's already putting it out there because he needs the good PR. He needs people to talk about Deadpool and get excited about that, so that way we're not thinking about the continuation of what's happening when it comes to the Baldoni situation. And then I went, okay, so which characters are we thinking that would be involved in here? Well, we could probably guarantee you Hugh Jackman. We could probably guarantee Channing Tatum. But then you start going, okay, so who else? Would it be X-23? Daphne showing up? Possibly. She was there at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine. And then I thought, whoa, who's the fourth one going to be? Who's the fourth one? And then I was having a conversation with Phil, and he thought, well, what if it's something where he's going to try to reinvigorate the whole X-Force thing? And I went, Cable? We're going to bring Josh Brolin back? Could he be possibly another member? He didn't show up in Deadpool and Wolverine. Would be kind of interesting if we got good old Joshy Broly's back for Cable, but I guess we'll see. You still got to pitch it, though. You just got to pitch it. You got to pitch it. Oh, here we go. That's right, guys. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Ben Affleck. And, you know, I'm going to be kind of, you know, giving my 2 cents on this whole situation about, obviously, when it comes to this new video. But of course, he's starting to film his new movie that he's directing. That's right. We got Ben Affleck that is currently going to be directing his new movie for Netflix. Of course, his production company is involved, which is good. And it's a movie called Animals that's going to have Gillian Anderson that's going to be starring in it. But guess who else? We mustn't forget that Mr. Ray Fisher also is going to be starring in the movie. And he took a picture showing the logo on the back of a jacket. Los Angeles 2025, Animals right there. A little crew jacket. So Ray Fisher doesn't really post that much on Twitter. I haven't really seen anything he's posted, but cool little shot right there. Glad he's going to be involved. We're going to get a little Ben Affleck and Ray Fisher reunion. You love to see it. You love to see it. You also love to see this too because, hey, we got James Cameron. That's right, Jimmy Cams. Jimmy Cams right here, who, of course, has been working really, really hard on his Avatar sequels. Obviously, we're going to be getting the 3rd one. And I don't know exactly when I guess the 4th one's already been kind of partially shot or that's already been shot. I don't know. It just seems like, you know, everything's so ambitious. But we're kind of wondering, hey, Jimmy Cams, are you going to do something that is not Avatar, that is not Terminator? Are you going to be doing something else? And yes, it was announced a little bit ago that he did get the rights to the book Ghost of Hiroshima. And apparently, yes, that will be his next project after, I think, the 4th Avatar movie. I'm sure he'll be doing post-production on that, but he's going to be filming this. And it looks like Martin Sheen is going to be tapped to star in, or he's going to be narrating the book. Sorry, I was looking at it all wrong. Cameron plans to use the book as a basis for a film, so he's going to have him narrate it, which, you know, Martin Sheen has a great voice. But he's going to, like, use him to narrate the audiobook, get people familiar with the story, and then that's going to be his next non-Avatar film. And it's going to be like, since Jesus Christ, the guy hasn't done a movie. It's just kind of funny how James Cameron, he's only done Avatar movies in this century. Do you realize that? He's only done Avatar movies. That's crazy. That's cool. But then speaking of James Cameron, this could be very much up James Cameron's alley right here. And this will make you nervous. So we have a video right here, and this video will be in the montage years from now, decades from now, when somebody pulls it up on a computer underground after the human race has been wiped out and only a few have survived, which, yes, very much sounds like a James Cameron film. But this will be part of the montage of what happened when it came to the extinction of the human race. Check this out. Turn that off. So they're working on a robot, and the robot starts freaking out. That's something out of nightmares. The robot is freaking out. How are you supposed to shut that off? How are you supposed to get that in? Look at that. Did you guys see that? What the hell? This is where it all starts, folks. We've been seeing it. We've been seeing it. Yep, we're done for. Between AI and that, we're done for. We're absolutely done for. So just pack your shit, folks. Oh my God. I saw that and I went, yep, that's where it starts. I mean, it's already started, but that continues. That continues. Did we get Dylan J? Did we calm him down? I saw the chat right there where he was just going crazy. So thank you for whoever got him, got him like suspended for a little bit. Or no, CBM cringe. Okay, easy there, Dylan J. Don't go spamming the freaking chat, all right? Let's relax a little bit. Holy Lord. Relax there, bud. So, yeah, admins, please keep an eye. No spamming, no spamming. No spamming. I don't like spam over here. We're not in Hawaii. We're not in Hawaii. All right. What else we got? We could talk about that later. Yeah, we'll talk about that later too. So the CEOs don't want to stop AI is meant to replace a new college grad office jobs. Scary. It is scary. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else, because like everything else is just like, all right, stuff that. Oh, this is fun. Well, I mean, geez, man, this is like a James Cameron themed vodka, or not vodka, but film junkie. I'm drinking vodka, that's why, because it's Cinco de Mayo. But this is a James Cameron themed Film Junkie Live. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? Titanic. Now, that's a James Cameron movie, obviously, right? Now, just imagine Titanic, but Rose, of course, who was played by Kate Winslet. Imagine if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It is a very rare diamond. Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
All right. Come on, draw me like that.
Wearing only this. The last thing I need is another picture of me looking like a porcelain doll. As a paying customer, I expect to get what I want.
Up.
Look at my boobies, Jack.
That's the funniest part. Look at my boobies, Jack. Oh, man. I laughed my ass off when I saw that. Look at my boobies, Jack. Yes. That's where the internet wins. The internet wins when it comes to that. That'll give you some nightmares right there. Draw me like a French girls. Woo. Oh, and movies that I watched this weekend. Movies that I watched because, you know, so when it came to, I watched 2 movies this weekend. Yeah, was it 2 movies? Yeah, I watched 2 movies because when I got home on Saturday after going to the brewery, I got home and I was like, all right, let me put on some movies. I went to Max, HBO Max, whatever you want to call it. Of course, I still want to call it HBO Max. But I watched Companion because Companion's on HBO Max. Love that movie. Like I said, it's one of my favorite movies of the year so far. And rewatched it. That was the second time I watched it. Love it. Absolutely love it. But then I watched a movie I hadn't seen, which came out last year, which I wanted to see, and that was Babygirl. I watched Babygirl finally. And that movie was hot. Nicole Kidman, yeah, that had some moments. That had some moments in it. But I will say that, you know, besides all the sexy moments, of course, I will say that movie was shot very well. Story was paced very well. Performances were great. Nicole Kidman was awesome in that. And yeah, it was kind of one of those where, you know, you get those awkward scenes. Obviously, you get some awkward scenes with the sexy stuff, but then you get awkward scenes because, you know, there's infidelity that's happening and awkward scenes between her and the young dude and everything. So you get that, like, uncomfortable, like, oh, man, this, it's so, Antonio Banderas, leave this, But then at the same time, I mean, if you learn anything from Babygirl is, hey, you know, if you're a CEO, you're a powerful woman CEO, and you're just not quite having the fire with your husband, have an affair, let that reinvigorate that, and then you'll be fine. You gotta love these movies that have to do with, like, affairs. I mean, initially, like, you watch these movies where people have affairs, you go, once you find, you know, once the other person finds out, you go, leave them, but they never do, right? And it's just like, oh, lesson learned, won't happen again, right? But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was A24 and obviously shot very well. I forgot what the director's name is. I forgot what the woman's name is, but she did a great job. And like I said, it's got some sexiness to it. That's for damn sure. And please, God, okay, I need to find this. I want this. I want this right here. And I love that I follow these Twitter accounts, and I follow this, and I'm sure some of you guys do too if you're on Twitter. There's a Twitter account called Retro Toys and Cartoons, and they post a lot of nostalgic kind of things. And they posted this right here, and I'm going, oh my God, I need this. I want this somewhere. You could just have this on the ground somewhere. Perfect collectible for anybody who is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Look at that. That's the cover of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie right there. I need this. Must find. I wonder how big it actually is. It looks like it's a pretty good size right there, but I really need this. Ooh, I need that. I want that. If anybody can find that, then send it over my way. And then, of course, yes, naturally, I you know, it was May the 4th yesterday. Didn't watch any Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know. It was Sunday, and I was working on a lot of things. I was watching baseball and then watching playoff basketball. Me and my brother were watching basketball, and then he hadn't seen the second episode of The Last of Us, so that's why I'm not doing my review. I'm not doing a review of episode 4 because I hadn't watched it yet. I was gonna watch it today, but I just didn't have the time because work and everything. So that's why I'm not doing a review of episode 4. I will watch it probably tomorrow. But I didn't watch it because, like, my brother is still trying to catch up. And I was like, oh, if you're going to watch episode 2, I'll watch it with you. Because episode 2, obviously, we know what happened in episode 2. And I think it's probably the best episode of the freaking, at least right now, the best episode of the whole series. Obviously, we know what happened. But yeah, May the 4th was yesterday, Star Wars Day. And, you know, it's cool seeing people posting things and everything like that. But anytime that I see somebody say, May the 4th be with you, I always think, well, it just sounds like, if you're going to say it like that, May the 4th be with you, it sounds like Mike Tyson is saying it. So there you go. I had Grok just type that out. May the 4th be with you. There you go. Dumb joke. People got a kick out of it. It's fine. So there you go. It was funny. I thought it was. And let's see what else we got here. And Jesus Christ. You know, we're going to be talking about some Thunderbolts, of course. We're going to be talking about Thunderbolts. But I didn't realize that they had a poster like this. I didn't realize they had this poster that had a quote. Apparently. I don't think it was actually a poster. I think somebody just screenshot the trailer that gets a bunch of quotes from critics. And they made it into a poster. And I saw it and I was like, oh, wow, geez. Easy there, Bucky. I mean, I know you're a stud and all, but raw and deep. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So Bucky is, he's coming for raw and deep right there. Just watch out. Watch out. All right, and then of course all that stuff. Oh boy, we got this right here too. How does every Tyson joke start? With a look over the shoulder. Right. You're actually pretty good with that. Pretty fly for a Filipino guy. May the Cinco de Mayo be with you as well. Good old Donnie Trump. Oh boy, Donnie Trump looking to... you know what's so funny? My whole life, I mean, I've heard the word tariff, but I am so tired of hearing the word tariff right now. I mean, that's all we keep hearing about. Tariff, 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 tariff. Now, me not trying to be political and not even getting involved in politics and everything like that. You guys know I try not to do that. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't subscribe to liberal conservatism. I'm kind of like in the middle, I would always say. And when it comes to Donnie Trump right here, obviously tariffs are a big thing. And I could be like, okay, it seems like things are going to get bad, but hopefully they can get better. I don't know what's going on with that. But now he's going after the movie industry when it comes to tariffs. Donald Trump claims he's placing a 100% tariff on all films produced outside of America that are brought into the country. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and, therefore, a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I'm authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming in our country, that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. Oof. So that was happening, and everybody was like, wait, whoa, 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 100%? Whoa, 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 whoa. But then, obviously there's been some clarification. And I know there was an article right here from Variety, and I won't pull it up because it's on my other screen, but it does say, Trump plans to meet with film industry to discuss tariffs. And then, of course, he goes, I want to make sure they're happy, and I'm not looking to hurt them. And apparently even the White House posted something, and they kind of were like, hey, he's just kind of just talking about it. But I'm like, okay, was he tweeting on the toilet, guys? What are we doing? Not tweeting. I know he posted that on Truth Social or that whatever, his whole social media thing that apparently he owns or whatever. But yeah, I'm just like going like, whoa, buddy. Hey, whoa, did you just fuck up Avengers Doomsday that's about to start? Yikes. I mean, I get it. You want to have things here. I totally understand that, but hey, we got to like slowly get there. You can't just go 100% tariff right on. I mean, it's a little scary when it comes to that. Let's like pump the brakes slightly. Yes, I get it. We want to get the movie industry back to where they're making more things here. Sure, 100% get that. But at the same time, let's not. The thing that always has been worrying me about this administration is everybody's going in with a sledgehammer, you know? Sledgehammering a lot of things, and then it's like, okay, can we not just go in with a sledgehammer? Let's try just like a little mallet. How about just a little mallet at first? Let's make sure things are going to be okay. But yeah, yeesh. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully. I know things are going to be in motion, and I know everybody could start freaking out, but it seems like there has been a pullback on that a little bit. He also wants to rebuild Alcatraz. Let's get the Rock out. We're going to open up the Rock. He wants to do that too. Apparently, I'm like, all right. I don't know. This guy might have something to say about that. I don't know. It's like, whoa. All right. What else we have? Okay, we'll talk about that, of course. We'll talk about this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we got some Mission Impossible goodness right here, too. So, obviously, we got Tom Cruise, good old Tommy Cruise right here. From Legend in 1985 to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I've been studying and filming underwater sequences for over 40 years. We have always tried to push our filmmaking to the next level. And there he is right there. Tom Cruise, 63 years old. Great shape, looking at the water. And you already know that this underwater sequence in Final Reckoning is just going to be absolutely insane. And then, of course, there's the featurette right here that they kind of briefly show it. In this movie, McHugh and I saw an opportunity to create an underwater sequence unlike any other. We are excited to share it with you. Man, the underwater sequences are just like... Yeah, everything about this movie is just going to be absolutely insane. And then, of course, there was this image that was posted right here. I mean, it looks like, I'm guessing this is after the underwater sequence. You know, he's looking a little pumped up. He's looking a little like, holy shit, did I just survive that? So it seems like, he pushed it to the limit again. 63 years old, this guy. Pushing it to the limit. Lung capacity and everything. Still pretty good, I guess. But my God. Cannot wait for Final Reckoning. The dude's just crazy. Dude is just crazy. Dude is crazy. All right. What else we got? Okay, let's talk about... got to talk about fandoms. Oh, you got to love fandoms. My God. Aqua Cruise, right? He's crazy in the good way. He's crazy in a good way. I mean, the Scientology thing, I don't really give a shit, but hey... So, Zack Snyder. Obviously, today is the 42nd birthday of Henry Cavill. And, a lot of people, of course, within the Snyder fandom were posting things and everything, as they should do all that. And I wished Henry Cavill a happy birthday at the beginning of this stream. And naturally, Zack was going to go to Twitter and be like, hey, I'm going to post an image. Post on Vero and everything. And, of course, he decided to post the screen test of Henry Cavill in the Christopher Reeve costume. Happy birthday to my friend, amazing actor, and greatest Superman of all time. And there, of course, is, look at that young buck. Look at that young Henry Cavill. Small Henry Cavill. Man, it's crazy how much muscle he put on. Get those shoulders. Those shoulders got pretty big, but there he is right there. And, of course, I love that Zack is in the reflection right there with his camera taking the picture. The response from people. I tell you what, because even I, because I responded to Zack, I responded with the Henry Cavill Superman gif, and even I got these fucking crazies on the other side, the gun crazies, the James Gunn crazy fans, that, of course, were just freaking out. They were freaking out because Zack Snyder said, greatest Superman of all time. Yeah, no shit. The actor that he directed in his Superman movie, of course, he's going to say the greatest Superman of all time. I had somebody come at me and be like, he shouldn't have said it like that. He's not the greatest Superman of all time. That's Christopher Reeves. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you know about this word called subjective, but that's, that's an opinion, okay? And of course Zack would say that. Again, that's his Superman he directed in 3 movies. Why are you freaking out about this? I swear, the DC Fandom, the sanctions, the different sanctions of the DC Fandom, I tell you what, it is absolutely insane. Oh, I had somebody say that he was a narcissist to me. Somebody called me a Snyder, see you next Tuesday. Of course, I get that a lot. I don't know why. There's like guys who just come out and just call me a Snyder, see you next Tuesday. I'm going, do you guys have anything else? You guys got to hire new writers, okay? You fuckers over there, you diehard gunners over there, you guys got to relax a little bit. The guy's just wishing a happy birthday to his Superman actor. It's not that serious. These fucking guys, I tell you. All right. Oh, yeah. And then, yes, guys, the freak show is happening right now. The Met Gala is also happening right now. You know, where the celebrities, dress up in the most ridiculous fucking outfits ever, and they have like their slave people around them carrying their dresses, carrying their capes and everything, and they're just looking absolutely, that fucking Hunger Games type of like, what the fuck kind of elite bullshit, Illuminati, secret society bullshit, eyes wide shut things are we talking about here? I mean, my God, I just showed this is Coleman, what's his name? I mean, what the hell is this? I mean, what? Okay, it's just that stuff. I've made fun of it before. It seems like the Met Gala happens, what, every 6 months? Is it once a year, twice a year, or is it just so quick that we're back to here? I can't stand it. That's all I kept on seeing. That's all I kept on seeing for like the past 2 hours on my feed is just all the crazy celebrities and their crazy outfits and all this kind of stuff. I'm going, what are we doing here? What is the Met Gala? What is this even supposed to be for? I don't even, I can't stand it. It's just that, you guys know I hate it when you see like red carpet premieres and everything. I can't. No slander on Coleman. Yeah, I like Coleman, but at the same time, that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous getup he's got going on right there. I'm sorry. I can't. That part of celebrity worship, I cannot. I like, I'll like my certain celebrities and actors, but when I see that kind of stuff, I'm going, what? It's like it's just a freak show to me, and I'm like, ugh, can't stand it. All right, sorry. Oh man, yeah, the Giants are gonna lose. Jesus Christ, what a terrible game. What a terrible game. It's fundraiser. Yeah, I get it's a fundraiser, but why does it have to be like that? But whatever. Yeah, it's just me. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about some things. We got some things to talk about when it comes to at least, before we get into the Ben Affleck things, let's go ahead and let's talk about some certain DC. We actually have... We do actually have an article that I actually want to look at as well. But we got a couple little minor things. Let's see. All right. Well, okay, so over the weekend, first off, did you guys see this? I mean, we're in that age. We're in the age now that not only are people going to be cosplaying as the superheroes that we see all the time, characters. Now we're in the era that they're going to be cosplaying as directors. Look at that. Somebody cosplayed as Jimmy Guns right there. Oh my God, it's so cringe. Look at the gun cult. The gun cult. Yeah, I get it, guys, but if somebody dressed up as Zack Snyder, you'd be... Look at that, that's awesome. Shut up. Let's not be hypocrites. Somebody's dressed up like Zack, somebody dressed up like Nolan, Quentin Tarantino. You'd be fine with it, right? So, but I mean, hey, somebody has a distinct look. You might as well, why not dress up like them, right? And let's see. We got Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is currently filming in Scotland. We also have Superman skin is reportedly going to be coming to Fortnite. New skin based off the film. Mythic ability turns you into Superman. Likely drops around movie release. And then we had a new promo right here from Napoli Comic-Con.
Hey, Comic-Con. Ciao, Napoli.
Superman is about hope, strength, and doing what's right, even when it's not easy.
And sometimes that means balancing two very different lives.
I love you.
Not as easy as it looks.
Especially when certain people make things complicated. È tornato. This film brings together some incredible characters.
Some might say a gang of characters. Sorry, I thought I left my ring out here somewhere. I thought.
Oh, the Justice
Please,
Gang.
Right? There it is. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But what makes Superman who he is isn't just his powers.
It's his choices and the people who stand beside him.
This story is packed with action, heart, and moments that remind us why Superman is the hero we've always looked up to.
Make sure you watch Superman on the biggest cinema screen you can find.
Superman.
In cinemas on July 9th.
Japan gets it 2 days early. So there you go. There's a new little promo right there. Very ugly shirt there, Jimmy Guns. I'm just saying. I don't know what. All right. I was like, what the fuck kind of... Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. And then, of course, James Gunn's just been... Anytime that somebody actually asks him about the new trailer, he's been kind of just given like these little, little smirk faces right here. So when it comes to the trailer, it's like, okay, so when is it going to be? I mean, I think we can all assume that Memorial Day is coming out. We got 2 movies coming out Memorial Day weekend, Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. You better believe that the first official trailer for Superman is going to be released during that time. Makes sense, right? So that's when we're going to get that first trailer. So next week, possibly, and then they'll be tied to those movies the week after. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, you can definitely put your money on next week or the week after for the new Superman trailer. And then we got Mr. Jason Ritter right here. We have Jason Ritter, of course, who's in Lanterns. He had a little quote to Forbes.com right here. Said he plays Billy McCone. He said, we've shot 4 episodes so far. We're about to start shooting episodes 3 and 4. We're doing it all a little out of order. It's been fun. It's a really well-written, really fun show. Well, there you go. Little update from the Lantern set from one of the actors. And Jason Ritter, he's funny. I see his TikToks. They're pretty good. And now we got we got Brother Gunn right here. We got Sean Gunn. He was at the Northern Fan Con. So somebody took something right here of him talking.
You good on here? Okay.
Okay, I want to say it's super cool that you're here in Prince George, but I can't let you leave without asking about the Superman movie that's coming out in the summer. You play a character called Maxwell Lord in that movie, which is going to be directed by your brother James Gunn, who you just mentioned.
Which is going to be? It already was.
Directed by him, actually. Go
Oh, that's
Thank
right,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
No, you're right.
Past
It's not.
tense.
Yeah, I'm just being a jerk.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. But I wanted to ask, what is it like preparing for that character? Could you talk about what kind of comics you talked about with James? How is it different from the Pedro Pascal version of the character, which
It
he
could
also
be good.
played Maxwell Lord
Can be
in
better,
another
right?
DC
Something
movie?
like that.
I can't believe Pedro Pascal and I keep going up for the same roles. I can't answer most of those questions. I asked my brother recently if I could even say that I was in the movie, and he's like, you can say that you're kind of in the movie. So I'm kind of in the new Superman, and I have really, really enjoyed the process of exploring that character. There is source material that my brother and I discussed, but I kind of can't talk about any of that. I can say that whole world where Pedro Pascal played the character beautifully is very, very different from the world that we're operating in. And I think just the casting alone makes that obvious. I don't think that I don't think, you know, I make that joke because I'm not, you know, you're not going to, in general, look at me for those same types of roles that he's playing. And he's amazing. So, yeah, I'll be able to talk so much more freely about this after the movie comes out, but in the meantime, I can just say that I loved the process of working on it. What I've seen from the movie, which is not all of it, I love. I'm very excited for an audience to see it. I just really have very, very high hopes for how an audience will respond to it. And we'll talk more, like, to be continued.
There you go. So Sean Gunn talking about Max Lord a little bit, as much as he can talk about it. Not much, of course. Naturally, can't say too much. Let's see. And then we got, let's go over to James Gunn and what he posted. Some of the things that he posted. Let's see. Well, one of the things he posted early on over the weekend, a couple days ago, he did celebrate an anniversary of Clayface. Happy anniversary to the legendary shapeshifter Clayface. A master of deception, the supervillain can become anything or anyone, even the star of his own movie coming 2026. He made his debut in Detective Comics number 40, written by Bill Finger and with pencils and ink by Bob Kane. Of course, that was a different Clayface than what you see right there now. Obviously, the introduction to Clayface was different. That version, the whole, you know, the monster shape-shifting big-time Clayface, that was Batman the Animated Series that reinvigorated that character. But, you know, it is pretty crazy that we're actually getting a Clayface movie. I know some people are like, what the F? And I'm like, why not? Why not? Again, it's Mike Flanagan who wrote it. We got, what's his name, Watkins or whatever, who did the See No Evil or whatever, that one movie that was actually pretty good that came out last year. And I'm going, okay, you know, cheap little horror type of shape-shifting movie that could possibly have Batman in it. All right. That's different. I'm all about it. Cool. And now we got Jimmy Guns posting about his dog. What? No. He's posting about his dog again. Jeez. How dare he post about his dog? Oh, wait. A lot of people post about their animals naturally, but this is kind of an adorable video. Naturally, there's going to be people who just rip it apart because I don't get it. It's a video about a dog. Anytime that I've owned a dog in my life, I've always tried to get whatever dog that I have had to look at the TV when there's a dog on the TV screen or anything. Can never achieve the dog. I can never get the dog to actually react to the TV screen. Never I could, but here we go. Here goes Uzo right here. Azu, who is reacting to Crypto.
This is my dog Ozu barking at the screen. Crypto was actually 3D modeled after Ozu's body. We 3D captured Ozu and turned him into Crypto. And anyway, every time he sees himself come on screen, he tries to murder himself.
He tries to murder himself. That's dark. But yeah, so he had that. And it's kind of funny too because some people, like this one right here, it's so funny because again, I'm like, how are you getting your dogs to do this? Because somebody responded, this guy named Leonardo, he responded with his dog doing the same thing. Look at that. Like, I used to have a dog like this, a wiener dog, a dachshund. I could not get her to even do that. There's 2 dogs. Oh, there's 3 dogs. Oh, babe. Are they going to have like a dog screening for Superman? Maybe. No, but that's adorable. That's adorable. That's cool. Again, you want to like capture, some more audience butts in the seats. Crypto's going to do that. That's looking like it's going to be doing that. That's for sure. So adorable. Like it said, that's going to help put butts in the seats. And then, of course, right now, too, according to Max, you could stream the first 3 episodes of Creature Commandos Season 1 for free, obviously, on YouTube. And then, of course, stream the full season in Italy, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So, Obviously, restrictions apply. Gotta love it. A crypto screening, right? Hope they don't kill crypto. They're not gonna kill crypto. Nah, they're not gonna do that. Would, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something maybe happens where it's like, where it's gonna shock some people. Like, no, you know how that is. You always got to do that. You always got to do that. And the way that Jimmy Gunn's handled Rocket Raccoon and those other animals in Guardians 3, good God, that was just like, how, I was like, stop it, man. How are you making me care about CGI animals like this? It's ridiculous. But he knows how to do that, apparently. So it's going to be interesting. Then we got this article right here. All right, so The Wrap wrote this article that has to do with, hey, Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca. That's right. At one point, when it came to the diehard Snyder fandom, they were champions. They were hoping that, hey, Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca, they know what to do, right? They don't really care about this Jimmy Gunn stuff. No, they're all about Zack. And, they are all about Zack because, again, I don't know how many times I have to say it, is Zack wasn't going to be able to do his full circle event where he was able to screen Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League on a big IMAX screen without the help of Warner Brothers and Abdi and DeLuca. But naturally, after there was an article that came out that was revealed that they hired James Gunn in secret and they're all about James Gunn, yeah, people turned on him, which is absolutely ridiculous. Well, they're not going to like this article right here from The Wrap. James Gunn really understood the assignment with Superman relaunch and new version of DC WB studio heads say. Ruh-roh. Yeah. Yep. What can you do, I guess? Warner Brothers studio heads Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca teased Monday that the early cut they have seen of James Gunn's Superman relaunch assured them that the franchise is in good hands and is worth the wait. Interviewing together on the Smartless podcast, of course, with Bateman, Arnett, and Hayes, the longtime studio execs said that Gunn, previously of Marvel fame with Guardians of the Galaxy, really understood the assignment when it came to relaunching a new version of DC and its most iconic character. I used to chase James as a producer when he did Slither and started with his low-budget movies. He's really unique, and I think DC is in great hands with the two of them. DeLuca said of course, Gunn and Peter Safran. We've seen an early cut of Superman, and I don't want to bury the lead. There's a lot of marketing about to roll out ahead of its release, but he really understood the assignment. His heart's in the right place, his aim is true, and we're really excited about their version of DC. Yeah, James is great, said Abdi, reflecting on Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav's 2022 decision to hire Gunn and Safran as co-lead DC Studios through a next chapter. DeLuca said he and Abdi were big supporters of them taking the job and part of the successes they saw at another major studio. We actually have to stipulate. DC reports directly to David Zaslav. We don't oversee it, but we are big supporters of Peter and James taking the job. Our advice when we were asked was it doesn't need another career executive. It needs a storyteller in charge. We were really impressed with Pixar. They brought Pete Docter, who's a filmmaker from the field, to be chief content officer and preside over their slate of movies. So yeah, we got all that. All previous DC media, blah, blah, blah. He's talked about that. That's Gunn right there. So there you go. You got Abdi and DeLuca. Naturally, of course, they're going to be big supporters of them. Of course, they're not, I don't know what anybody's expecting when it comes to those two, but, they're big supporters of all this kind of stuff. That's just the way it is. But yeah, that article came out. Should be fine. Again, if it wasn't, like I said, I'm grateful for them because I got to attend Full Circle 2 years ago. Crazy, it's been 2 years since Full Circle, but if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to see all of that. Watch the whole trilogy, the Snyderverse trilogy, specifically seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX, which was like, oh my God, amazing. All right, so that's pretty much DCU news. Now let's get to this. Let's get to the main topic here. Oh boy, man, this is gonna be a long stream. I feel. Sit back, folks, because I got a lot of talking to do right now when it comes to all this. Yeah, those 100%. Okay, so here we go. All right, we got Ben Affleck. Oh, here we go. Ben Affleck was okay. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. We have a 4-second clip. We have a 4-second clip of Ben Affleck being asked if he would come back as Batman. It's 4 seconds. And it's amazing that this little video caused such madness when it came to the DC fandom. I mean, just absolutely crazy. And of course, you guys have probably seen it. I pulled the video from Culture Base. And here it is right here. They kind of added a little bit of stuff to it and some subtitles.
Back as Batman.
Hey, it's possible. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. That is it. That is it. You see how quick that was? Holy shit. He was quicker than the Flash. What the hell is this thing doing?
Back as Batman.
There we go. It froze up on me. But yeah, you see how quick that was?
Back as Batman.
Hey, it's possible. Okay.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Hey, anything's possible. Well, see you later. I mean, that was just quick. But it's amazing. I'm just saying, especially the DC fandom in the last, decade, few years, whatever, especially with Snyder stuff and everything, everything's got to be studied. This whole thing's got to be studied. And it's very interesting to see responses to all this, obviously. I got that sent to me, of course, and people tagged me in that, of course. And I went, oh, okay. And I remember seeing it, I'm like, okay. But I was working on other things yesterday, and I didn't really was like, okay, maybe I'll tackle that, later on. And I did. I posted it, and I went, okay, let's see. And I just basically said, Ben Affleck says anything is possible when asked about playing Batman again. And then I put a couple of emojis. Nothing. Perfectly okay. And then, of course, it got traction. And then naturally I was like, okay, so let's see. Let me see my initial tweets here, because I did a follow-up Where is it at? Okay, so there's that. And then I did a follow-up because somebody was like, the DCEU is dead, but it's possible he comes back in some multiverse movie. And I followed it up with this. I said, oh yeah, he gave standard anything is possible answer and dipped, but anything can be possible. If, of course, the restore hashtag is being spammed now, because this means it's happening. A Kingdom Come style multiverse thing is way more likely, of course. And that's where the pot got stirred a little bit, because, yeah, naturally, guess who swarmed with quote tweets and in my mentions? Yes, some of the crazier Snyder people out there who just didn't like what I had to say right there. And it's just kind of funny, because that's all I did. That's all I posted, and I gave because I don't care what anybody says. You watch that clip, there is nothing in there that is, there's nothing there. It was so quick, and he dipped out of there. But what's interesting about it is the fact that when it comes to Ben Affleck and him talking about Batman and everything, just over a month ago, we got that GQ article that was breaking down, there was a big, huge interview with him, which, of course, the crazies in the Snyder fandom said that there was hit pieces when it came to Ben Affleck, which didn't make any fucking sense, because they were literally quotes from Ben Affleck himself talking about certain things, but they were like hit piece, because it didn't fit into their narrative. So then they're just naturally gonna say hit piece. Now, what did I say when I responded? Because obviously it was all based on the GQ article, but then of course, Variety and some of the other trades decided to utilize the Batman stuff to write articles about that, and then posted it out there because they knew they would get engagement. That's just what happens. Ben Affleck, Batman, guess what? There's going to be engagement. But it was just kind of funny because I kept seeing hit piece. There was nothing of hit pieces at all. It was literally from an interview and quotes from Ben Affleck himself. And one of the particular quotes was the fact that he said he was not interested in the superhero genre anymore. That's what he said in there. And it was kind of funny because, some of my lovely fans out there of course, we're like, wait a minute. And it was kind of, like I said, I was feeling a little frisky last night. I'm not going to lie, guys. I was feeling a little frisky. And I saw somebody who's obviously who's a big fan of mine. And this was right. It was kind of funny because after it posted certain things and all of a sudden, I had my screen open right here. And I saw the quote tweet. And this individual, his name is Drew. Okay, his name is Drew. And he's come at me numerous times before, and it's always funny when that happens. And good old Drew right here decided to, and I saw it, and and mind you, I was like, when I saw it, I went, oh, well, I guess I'll deal with that when I get back. Because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a pizza for me and my brother, and then we're going to watch the rest of the playoff game, the Golden State Warrior and Rockets playoff game, and then I'll tend to this. But I screenshot it. Because you just never know. I was like, oh, let me screenshot that. And sure enough, I'm glad I did because it has been deleted since. So this guy posts this right here. He's done when he says he's done. And he pulled my tweet from March 25th where I was celebrating Batman versus Superman. That tweet right there was just me after that article came out. And it was the anniversary, the 9-year anniversary of Batman vs. Superman. I did that. There's nothing hostile, nothing petty, nothing about that tweet. And it was just me kind of going, hey, 9 years since BVS. And how about hashtag thank you Batfleck? Seems like he is officially done this time. But again, who knows, right? And I posted that and I was like, hey, Drew, why did you delete that? Is it maybe because Ben Affleck literally said that? You mean you're asked like he's done when he says he's done, and there was this right here where he actually said that he had no more. I am not interested in going down that particular genre again, not because of a bad experience, but just I lost interest in what was of interest about it to me, but I certainly wouldn't want to replicate an experience like that. Yeah, so I had that. I actually asked that guy twice, never responded because he quote tweeted something else too. And I was like, hey, Drew, why'd you delete this tweet? Did you realize it was fucking stupid? Because it was fucking stupid? Yeah. But, what could he do? These people are they get wildly obsessive, like you said, versus it. It's crazy. And then, of course, somebody who's like a big voice in that side of the fandom and wants to sell and do all the hashtags, Sammy Snyder Queen. Now, she also was like, hey, he could have, see, one of the things that they always say is he could have easily just said, no, I'm done. He could have easily said that. And I went, no, that's bad PR because if you think about it with the whole remember he went on Kimmel and said, I'm not Batman. And then all of a sudden we hear that he's coming back. And then he's not Batman anymore. And then he comes back. And it's like, okay, maybe it got to a point where it's like, hey, Ben, don't say that you're done or anything like that because that is bad PR because he literally is playing a beloved character, an iconic character as Batman. So don't say that because you never know what could happen. Because look at Michael Keaton, for fuck's sake, came back after all those years. You just never know what could happen. So maybe stop saying that you're done with all that because you have a fan base that loves your Batman. So why even say that? I mean, it is the generic answer to say anything is possible. So many people have said that. How many actors have said that? Even Zack has said that when he's been asked about returning to DC or whatever the hell. It's the generic PR answer. And it's smart because you just never know what could happen. Now, mind you, when it comes to her, we had actually a pretty good back and forth. We had a good back and forth because I was like, hey, I come in peace. And kudos to her for not coming at me like a crazy person. She's actually pretty nice, unlike some of the other crazies that were in my mentions yesterday. But yeah, it was just like, hey, anything's possible, all this and all that. And it was kind of funny because anytime that this kind of stuff happens and the whole animation thing gets brought up, particularly, and then of course they don't like the idea of like, oh yeah, we don't want some Kingdom Come multiverse thing. I'm like, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing. Jay Leva mentioned something about having a Kingdom Come type of idea when it comes to the Snyderverse. And I thought, yeah, maybe there can be something there. because we're not going to get the direct sequels anymore. You could throw that out unless it does happen with animation or comic book. We're not going to get those direct sequels that we were supposed to get. And it's so funny, too, because I keep on saying, I'm like, hey, it seems like you guys just want these guys to just drop everything they're doing and come back and do these giant movies again. And I'm going, well, first off, the studio has to greenlight that and make the offers. So you have that first. But, of course, they're thinking that, oh, yeah, if Superman bombs and they get Gunn out there, they're just going to call Zack up and get the whole gang back together. And here we go. Or they're going to sell it to Netflix or whatever the hell. And so it's like, okay, so you want them to just drop everything they're doing and spend like the next few years to do these big crazy movies, but they just don't listen to Ben Affleck. And one thing that I kept on getting sent over to me when it came to all this madness that was happening yesterday, people were going like, he could have said that he was done, because he did in fact say that he didn't want to work on the DCU or work with James Gunn. I'm like, that is not the same thing. I got that sent to me a few times. Well, he said that he didn't want to work with Gunn or the DCU. I'm like, yeah, and your point? That is not the same thing as saying if you're going to come back as a beloved character. It's not the same thing. He was asked by James Gunn, met with James Gunn, and was like, hey, do you want to like maybe partake in one of these? Is there like a project we can get you on? And Ben Affleck said, no, I don't want to. And that, of course, is in line with what he said in the GQ article, where he said he doesn't really have interest in the genre anymore. Crazy, right? But at the same time, your beloved Batman, don't just go like, nah, I'm done with that bullshit. But then at the same time, I'm listening to him on Theo Von's podcast. This is another thing. He was on Theo Von's podcast a couple of weeks ago. And then I'm listening to him where he's even talking about not wanting to do like these big, huge movies where he has to go overseas to shoot them. You know, of course now, you know, good old Trump is trying to like get rid of that, but he doesn't want to be away from his kids because his kids are like getting the teenage years. So he wants to spend more time with his kids before they go off to college and then of course be adults themselves. So he doesn't want to be away from them for long periods of time. That's why like he's able to, with his production company and with Netflix with like the Animals movie, he could like shoot them here and it's not going to be anything too kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, sorry that I'm actually listening to what the man is saying there, guys. But yeah, of course there was meltdowns. There's this one guy whose name's Raphael, who I kind of put on blast because he was having a meltdown. He wasn't claiming he wasn't having a meltdown, but of course said the whole thing where they always go like, it's their choice. I'm like, yeah, I get that. And right now they're choosing original projects. And I think that's better. Why bring them back to the madness that is comic book movies? Okay? They are doing the things that they want to do. Ben Affleck, especially with his production company, is trying to help Hollywood and help the industry pay out their creators a little bit differently and help them just tell the stories that they want to tell. It's not about Batman. It's not about coming back and doing it. Yes, I get it. It's their choice. But at the same time, it's also the choice of the fucking studio. I love it when it's like, it's their choice. Yeah, the studio also has to choose. It's just kind of crazy. But of course, I was called a washed up YouTuber and insults. And then it was kind of funny too because I was like, he kept on going. And then I went, and he kept on going, nobody cares about your opinion. You're this, you're that, you know. But I'm like, obviously you care, Mr. Raphael. You care. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I guess. He's the angry one, right? I was like, obviously you care because you're in my mentions. If you didn't care about my opinion and my opinion meant nothing, you wouldn't be in my mentions, as well as your buddies. Do I show up in your mentions or your buddies' mentions? Do I seek out like your tweets and then just go, you're wrong, you're this, that, and this? No. I literally put out the video, put out my opinion, and that was it. And then you guys came flooding in because why? It's a religion to you guys, just like what Zack said on Rogan. I keep on going back to that because he was so spot on when it came to that. It's such a religion now. So when anybody kind of pushes back on something, you just go, how dare you? And then, of course, it's just, it's just, it's crazy. But yeah, it was just funny going back and forth with that. Good times. But yeah, it was madness yesterday. Oh, we just got to turn upside down. Yeah, it was a little bit of madness yesterday when it came to all that. But hey, what could you do? I don't know. The way I'm looking at it is like, yeah, anything could happen. I'm not saying that nothing. It's like, oh yeah, it's gone, it's done, get over it. I'm just going, and I said it time and time again. And I even said this when I was going back and forth with Miss Snyder Queen. I was like, hey, I don't care what you guys do. Okay? If you guys want to campaign, go for it. You guys want to use hashtags? Go for it. But hey, there's going to be pushback. So don't get upset when there's pushback or people make comments. Okay? Do whatever you want. I'm not going to partake because you know how I feel about it? The fight for Zack in this space, in this CBM space, is done. It's done. It's over with. It's absolutely done. There's nothing more to fight for Zack or Ben. They are off doing great things. Zack's doing a passion project right now. Zack had the ultimate mic drop when it came to all this. He got funding for his movie, $70 million, which is way more than he needed. So he got to actually add to his movie. They wanted him to change the ending of the movie to not have a cliffhanger. He said, fuck that. I'm having the original ending. He had the original ending, and he dedicated it to his daughter. He did a mic drop, went over to Netflix, created not one, but 2 universes, and now he's doing a UFC passion project. The guy had the ultimate mic drop, okay? Sure, would have been kind of cool if there was more, but when a lot of us realized there wasn't going to be more, we just kind of went, all right, either didn't talk about it or we're embracing what's in the future when it comes to DC stuff. So it's all good. Yeah, but it's just crazy when all that kind of stuff happens and then you just go, hey, call this out, call that out. I mean, there's so many times where I get people like accusing me of like certain things, and all I do is just ask questions. I'm like, show me where I did that. Where did I say that? Where did I do this? You know, and I had somebody come at me going like, why did you quote tweet this guy? You know, you had like your little private little beefs like being displayed. I'm like, private? It's on a public platform, you idiot. So yeah, it's the public platform. And I was showing how crazy it gets. The dude had like a 3-thread thing where he was just totally losing his mind. And then of course, insulting. And it's like, I just wanted to show people who follow me like how crazy it actually gets. Because it's like, I don't know how many times I've said it, that the further away we get from the releasing of the Snyder Cut, the crazier these guys get. And that little 4-second clip that we saw of Ben Affleck, yeah, that was enough for them to be like, it's happening. It's happening. And you just go, are you serious? Anybody can look at that. Okay, so here's another interesting thing here. This is the last thing about this whole thing. So obviously my follow-up tweet where I was talking about like, you know, when I was kind of quote tweeting and I was like, anything is possible, you know, basically when I said that, he gave the generic response. The initial tweet with the video, I had people, of course, who are not part of that fandom, who are just regular random people. I don't know how many times I saw people go, oh, fuck, he's so done. He didn't care about that question. He walked away so quick. He dipped out real quick. Like, those people were like, oh, yeah, people are seeing 2 different movies right here. Then you had the extreme side where he goes, oh, even Ben Affleck knew that his Batman sucked, or Batman hates Batman, or Ben Affleck hates Batman. So I'm going, Jesus Christ, this whole thing needs to be studied because we are seeing, there are 2 groups of people having 2 opposite reactions to this video. It's crazy. One of them is going, oh, he's going to be back as Batman. He said it. And these others are going, did you see that? He dipped out real quick. He does not want it. It was just kind of crazy to be like, huh. That's what's kind of fun about seeing the reactions to stuff, to see the two different movies that are being watched. It's kind of fun. It's crazy. Oh, look, we got Ben Affleck in the chat right here. Watch out. He's confirmed it. He's back. He's back. He's back as Batman. It's like, just listen to the man. Listen to the man. Listen to... Listen to him on Theo Von. Read the interviews, please. That's all I ask from these people. But they don't want to do that because it affects their narrative. It totally ruins whatever they're trying to do with their hashtags and campaigns. So they don't want to listen to it. They don't want to read it because then it hurts them. And I'm like, hey, anything can happen. We could get, like I said, there could be something in the future where 5-10 years from now, there could be like, hey, we're going to do like this crazy, Snyder's coming back. We're going to do this like Kingdom Come fucking thing in the Snyderverse. Cavill, Godot, everybody's going to be coming back and they're older and blah, blah, blah. That'd be kind of cool too. Sweet. Nice. But it's just, it's amazing. Because I just start asking questions. I'm like, one question I always ask, do you think all the actors will come back? And everybody think, oh yeah, of course they will. They'll come back for Zack. They think that everybody that was involved in these movies every day was kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. We're all just friends. We're best friends. No, there is still egos involved. It's Hollywood. I might have had a conversation about that particular thing with the man himself. Ugh. Anyways, enough of that. Enough of that. Whoa. It's hot. Let's see. Anything? No. Again. Okay. Checking that out. Anyways, okay, we're good. All right, now let's move on. Let's move on to Thunderbolts. No, guys. No, not Thunderbolts. No. So this is interesting. So obviously Thunderbolts came out this weekend and did fairly well at the box office. We'll talk about that in a little bit, of course. And obviously the asterisk that was part of the Thunderbolts name, had a meaning to it. And, people kind of figured out that, oh, yeah, that's not going to be their finalized name. It's just kind of like, okay, it's this, that, and this. So this was happening. The first image that we saw that somebody actually took a picture of was this, a big, huge poster. I think this was in LA somewhere, where the little Wheaties box poster that was on the side of this building, they already started putting that it gets ripped, the title gets ripped, and it's going to say, The New Avengers. By the way, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, I mean, spoilers at this point. I mean, Marvel Studios has just spoiled the absolute shit out of this movie, essentially. It's really stupid. This is crazy. And I don't know if it's stupid or if it's brilliant. I don't know. Here's what that billboard looks like now. The New Avengers. The only thing that boggles my mind and just makes me go, what the hell? Why do you still have Taskmaster in these fucking posters? You might as well just remove them. I mean, obviously you couldn't do that with they just added to it, but why not just get rid of Taskmaster? She is not part of the New Avengers. She died really quick. That's what's kind of funny. She died really quick. And speaking of Taskmaster, apparently, and again, this is just because it's CBM world, it's Marvel Studios world, God knows how many times this story and the script got changed. But according to Polygon.com, the original Thunderbolts script had a running joke where Taskmaster would struggle with memory loss and kept trying to assassinate John Walker in the film after they became friends. So they had an idea to have Taskmaster within the story more than just the opening scene before getting a bullet to the head. Spoiler alert, sorry. But they had this idea of that. And I thought, well, that could have been kind of cool. Maybe that would have gotten annoying after a while. I don't know. But they had an idea of utilizing her a little bit more. So that's interesting. And then, of course, we have this video. Obviously, they're releasing all the posters, and essentially, it's just going to be called The New Avengers now, which is weird. Where is it at? They had Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan was going around and replacing posters. Let's see. Hold on. Marvel Studios. Let me go to the Marvel Studios, of course, official Twitter, because they were posting all about this stuff. That's so sad. That's so sad. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm just thinking. So here we go. We have, obviously, Sebastian Stan. He's going around and replacing posters. Not replacing, but, adding new posters. So where it says New Avengers. So that's part of the marketing. Dedication, I guess you could say. And where is it? Oh, shit. Did I just lose my spot? Yes, I did. But then they had a video reveal. If I could find it. God, Twitter is just so hard. And sometimes it's just difficult to navigate. Where's the initial video? There it is. So here's the initial video where the whole cast was here.
Let's go!
There's Olga right there. Poor thing. She's not one of the new Avengers. I'm like, good God. Hey, but, you know, she's there. She got paid. It's just kind of funny. I was like, oh, she's actually there. Oh, I didn't think she was actually there. But it's just like, we could probably not have her in the posters anymore, right? Oh, my God. But she's in all the posters still, obviously, because they just took the name off. But it is kind of funny. So I'm just kind of wondering, and I don't know how you guys feel, and maybe I should have ran a poll on YouTube or and Twitter. Do you guys think that this is a good marketing strategy? And I think it's kind of smart because it's kind of different. And after the movie's been released, even though they didn't wait a longer time, you know, all the diehards, everybody who's like a diehard, you know, CBM lover went to go see it and already knows about all this. But is it smart for people for now to now have posters that say the new Avengers? Do you think that's going to put more butts in the seats and the word of mouth and everything? The good word of mouth is going to help sell more tickets? I think it has potential. It's going to be it's an interesting marketing strategy. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really ever, especially big blockbuster movies, I don't think there's ever been a name change like this. Like you're literally going to have, when you go in Fandango or any movie theater app, I'm willing to guess that this weekend and into the future, and then when it shows up on Disney Plus or any other streaming, it's just going to be called the New Avengers, which I don't know. I still kind of like Thunderbolts. The New Avengers, but I don't know. Is this gonna help put butts in the seats? At first, I was kind of going, oh yeah, I can see what they're doing with this marketing, and it seems like it could work. But then I'm kind of going, well, maybe it doesn't, because the New Avengers, I mean, you have Avengers in the name, but is that gonna help? Arkham Knight. I work at a theater, and it hasn't been changed yet. Yeah. I'm sure they can't do it that quickly. I mean, we're only on Monday and they just unveiled it. So Arkham Knight, you're probably going to be getting new posters maybe sent to you. And I'm just kind of wondering if this is actually going to do that. Maybe not the day after the movie comes out, but also the credits revealed the post-credit scene, and enough people in my theater saw that. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see if this actually helps the movie. And now let's get into the box office. And let's talk about the numbers. We got numbers. So the Thunderbolts, the new Avengers box office. I mean, obviously it took the top spot, but then you're kind of wondering, okay, is this a strategy to change it to the new Avengers? Is that going to maybe help I mean, we're not going to know until next week when we see that drop. But here are the numbers right here. Thunderbolts, of course, took 74.3 domestic, took the top spot. Of course, bumping Sinners, and worldwide 86.1 for international, worldwide 160.4, and apparently the production budget was $180 million. Now, from what I gathered, is this actually made a little bit less than Captain America: Brave New World opening weekend. Then, of course, we have Sinners, which is still killing it, and right now I think it's pretty much making profit at this point. 237.3, and look at that drop, only a 27.6 drop. So it continues to just get the good word of mouth. Great. A Minecraft movie is at 874.6 million. I'm wondering if it's slowing down. Maybe it's not going to hit that $1 billion mark. It probably will hit 900 million, but I don't know if it'll hit 100. And then sadly, a 61.3% drop for The Accountant 2. $66.4 million. Sucks because I love The Accountant 2. I thought it was like the most entertaining movie of the year so far, in my opinion. I think it had an $80 million budget. So yeah, they already announced The Accountant 3. But yeah, sadly The Accountant 2 Not really pulling in the numbers right there, but it's okay because Ben Affleck's going to be back as Batman. Anyway, had to get that one in there. But it's going to be interesting to see when it comes to Thunderbolts, or if they actually do change the name. I mean, you risk that. The new Avengers. I don't know. It just seems a little dumb. Now, I don't know. Like I keep going back and forth. I'm like, that's smart. No, it's dumb. You know, because it's like, if you haven't seen the movie and you're just like, why is it called the new Avengers? But then again, that could intrigue people to go see it. But then I'm like, Thunderbolts is talked about the whole time until the whole switcheroo. But then at the same time, that makes sense because of Valentina does the switcheroo on them. So why not have the switcheroo on the movie? And you could do that little meta thing. I don't know. Time will tell. In a month from now, I guess we'll know if this whole marketing strategy really worked. That's it. Just crazy. And then speaking of the MCU, the MCU. Oh, the MCU. We got Feige pants. We got Kevin Feige. Now, let's see. Now, naturally, this interview with Kevin Feige happened with the Wall Street Journal. But naturally, if you click on the article, you have to subscribe and do all that. And hey, I'm not going to pay for a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. I'm not going to, but you know, we get some bullet points. There is some bullet points that some people have put out here, and it's it's kind of interesting. So here's one of them from the redacted guy on Twitter. Wall Street Journal released an article about Marvel Studios. So long story short, Feige was against Disney Plus shows, but saw the story potential and also wanted to play nice with Disney leadership and investors. Marvel Studios is going under a transition where quality is key. What? Feige was aware of the many issues of Phase 4 and 5 and is course correcting. Kevin Feige was so exhausted and spread so thin that when he finally was offered advice from multiple projects, he was already too late. So essentially, some of those right there, Kevin Feige basically was saying that, oh yeah, when I'm watching some of these shows and everything like that, it feels like homework. It feels like homework. And I'm just going like, Kevin Feige, did you just watch Secret Invasion? Is that why it feels like homework? Because that series started off with potential and then just went down into the shitter? Is that what happened? And then, of course, when he was spread too thin, because it's like, yeah, you have so many damn projects. But again, you have Disney that was probably asking for those projects because the pandemic, and they wanted to fill up the streaming service and everything. But there was a couple of other things too, particularly the X-Men. The X-Men in the MCU. So according to this article, and Kevin Feige reportedly in this article says he has a 10-year plan. A 10-year plan when it comes to the X-Men. So doesn't look like Feige's going to be leaving anytime soon unless he's just putting it in motion and then he'll just be like, all right, good luck, guys. I'm out. But apparently there's a 10-year plan when it comes to the X-Men. So that's what's going to be interesting. And then obviously we're already getting some X-Men, with Deadpool and Wolverine. We got Beast in the post-credit scene of the Marvels. It'll be interesting. Let's see. Was there anything else? There wasn't really anything else. Obviously, they're going for quality. They're doing all this. They're doing all that. Ooh. Oh, no, that's an old clip. That's an old thing. Never mind. So, there you go. Yeah, I mean, they got to get back to, it seems, everybody's, people are liking, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny? I was thinking about this last night. I almost tweeted it out. Maybe I will eventually tweet it out, but this is going to cause another shitstorm. I don't know if I'm down for another shitstorm this week when it comes to Twitter. I don't know if I'm down for it. Maybe before Friday, before the Vodka stream, maybe I'll do it. But I'll say it here first, because usually I tweet and then I'll say it on the streams. When it comes to MCU, DCU, Marvel Studios, DC Studios, I had this thought, and it's kind of funny. I got kind of funny, but it was just kind of like interesting. I just had it. So remember when James Gunn got hired on to be co-CEO of DC Studios? There's conspiracies that were put out there from the people who don't like him and the people, of course, that loud side of the fandom that basically was saying, oh, he's a Marvel Studios plant. He's a Marvel Studios plant. He's coming into the DC universe to make it like the Marvel Studios universe, and then he wants to get people, and it's all just to get people to be fans of the MCU, to get DC fans to be really on board with the MCU. I remember seeing a lot of that, and then I went, after especially this weekend, and seeing the reaction to Thunderbolts, and seeing die-hard, particular Zack Snyder fans rave about the MCU and Thunderbolts. And I went, holy shit. So if the conspiracy is actually true, James Gunn succeeded at his job and turned these guys into MCU fans. They want nothing to do with DC, and they are praising the absolute shit out of the MCU. What? I don't know. I'm just hitting sound effects right now. Crazy. That was just something I was thinking about last night. I was like, whoa. Whoa. And I'm just, that's just me talking about just those diehard ones. Again, I'm glad. I mean, I did not love Thunderbolts, but I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was an enjoyable movie from start to finish. I wasn't bored. Some people I saw that were bored. I wasn't bored. It just felt like it was tiptoeing on being something just really completely different, and they kind of just pulled it back a little bit and went back to the normal Marvel formula, So that's where it was. So I don't know. I still think it was good, though. I still think it was good. All right, let's get to Twitter questions now. Let's see. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a long one. That's what she said. All right. Let's see what we got here. Man, I got a lot of questions right here. What the hell? And got some crazy burner accounts too. All right, so let's start off with Lane. Lane, hey Dave. I love the fact that Hollywood is shifting back to giving directors a chance to make original IPs instead of focusing on team-up movies and easy box office draw. Do you think streaming was the biggest reason to give a platform Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if... I mean, streaming, I know a lot of, sometimes there's a lot of times where in the past couple of years after the pandemic, a lot of poo-pooing when it came to streaming, but I mean, streaming opens up. I mean, I end up watching movies that I would never have heard of. I would have never heard of certain movies if I didn't allow like Hulu to pick my next movie, or if I just wasn't scrolling through and going, oh, this looks interesting. Yeah, so I think streaming is definitely having a help in that. I hope so. Eric, hey Dave, in contrast to the bot suddenly going kung fu fighting, I figured you'd get a kick out of this. Oh yeah, I saw this. You got the little, you got the Stitch is like scanning tickets. That's actually good marketing. That's really good marketing right there. Like I said, I think Lilo and Stitch is going to be a huge one for Disney for sure. Dylan G, I think Disney spoiled Thunderbolts on purpose, considering that's the last of the marketing for Thunderbolts before they officially move on to marketing Lilo and Stitch heavily, considering it's 3 weeks out from, yeah. I mean, I get it. I get why they did it, but I'm just wondering, I'm like, why? Maybe they should have waited a little long. I don't know. I guess we'll see if it helped, if it actually does anything. We got Miguel. He was being nice. The way he took off after questions showed he didn't want to answer another DC question. Yeah. Again, there are people that recognize that Ben Affleck was quickly answered and got out of there because he wasn't wanting to answer Batman questions. But naturally, you can't tell that to somebody who lives in a fantasy world. Dylan G, again, I don't know what this is, but I don't know. The clip of Arnold reminded me of this. Oh, that's what going down while the captain is still blasting Fetty Wap on the JBL speaker. That's funny. And we got Ken. We got Kenny. Hey, Dave. Happy Monday to you. Super excited for Superman still and going into it with open mind. Man, this is going to be good. Super hyped. Cooper Knox, after seeing your interactions with that side of the Snyder fandom over the weekend and certain DC fans today, I'm of the humble opinion that fandoms in general need a hard reboot. Yeah, I know. Because like I said, I was going at it with diehard gunners, the gunners out there that were coming at me for responding to Zack, and they were saying all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, guys, can't put me in one or the other. Comic talk. Maybe the end credit scene for Thunderbolts and how that teases the end of Fantastic Four sets up Doomsday. Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does. Kenny, again, loving Andor Season 2. I still have yet to watch it. I didn't realize they were going to be releasing 3 episodes at a time, so I just haven't kept up with it yet, but I will. I'll watch it. When do you think we see Batwoman, Kate Kane in the DCU, maybe in Batman? Yeah, I mean, if we're already having an established Batman that has a Bat family, we definitely could easily do that. Darkness Under the Wind. Long question, Dave, with Feige recently coming out and saying he and Marvel Studios are looking at the past issues they've faced since Phase 4 in the MCU and are undergoing major changes to ensure they put more quality content with time and patience, likely being a factor. Does this mean they know projects like Fantastic Four, First Step, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars have to be really good to incredible, just to name a few, and will continue throughout the MCU reboot with Feige reiterating he has a long plan for... They do. I mean, if they have to go out with a bang when it comes to these Avengers movies, so they're going to be heavily focused on X-Men, and then I'm kind of curious what happens with the Avengers characters after that. So, yeah, they need some. They both Avengers movies, Spider-Man, yeah, they all need to be like winners. They definitely need to be winners. Devin Wooter, hello Dave. Did you hear that Donald Trump is allowing movie studios to film their movies in the U.S.? Well, yeah, I mean, but it's a whole different, there's a logistics when it comes to all that has people worried. I watched the Thunderbolts, good movie. What's your favorite scene from that movie? I think the opening scene was actually pretty good. I actually kind of liked them trying to get out of the vault. And what day do you expect Marvel will reveal the first look at Doctor Doom and Avengers Doomsday? I don't think we're going to get that for a while. Then again, we got Comic-Con, or in D23. That'll probably be the time to reveal. Rest97. Hey, Dave, have you ever thought about giving the Batman Arkham games a go? I have. I actually played I played Arkham Asylum in Arkham City. I didn't do Arkham Knights or Arkham Origins. I played Arkham Origins a little bit. I take that back. So I've played the first 2 games to start to finish. I think you'd really love them, especially Arkham Origins. See, I only played a little bit of Origins. Maybe one day you could create a gaming channel. Yeah, I've always thought about that, but man, I just don't have the time currently. And then I don't know what the hell this is. Somebody made an AI image of a busty woman right there who Peter hates Canada. I don't know who that is, but that person is constantly in my mentions doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Some people just do. Long as it's not craziness and there's nothing, I'll allow it. I don't know why. Why that image is there, who knows. But yeah, Arkham City was pretty damn awesome. And there's still people responding to my stuff right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got somebody right here. Bring back our Batman. And then, of course, so many damn hashtags. Yeah. There's just so many things. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Like I said, I always tell those people, hey, if you guys want to obsess over the same 3 DC movies for the rest of your lives, by all means. You want to use as many hashtags as you want to, by all means. Do whatever you want. I know there's also boycott hashtags. They are keeping their wallets shut. Oh, God. Oh, God. They're keeping their wallets shut, so they won't be paying for a ticket for Superman. And I'm going to love it, too, when they talk about illegally downloading it. That's they're going to sound all tough and puff up their chest like, that's right. I downloaded the torrent of Superman, and I'm paying for that shit. Ooh, look at you, tough guy. Look at you. Watch out. Watch out. All right, guys. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Been fun. 2-hour long freaking Film Junkie Live today. I knew it was going to be a long one with all the stuff I had to talk about. Cheers. Oh. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys. Of course, have a good Tuesday. Hit that like, thumbs up. You guys are awesome. See you back here on Wednesday. Of course, this week we have that Josh Hartnett movie coming out. That's pretty much it. It's kind of like a slow week, but I don't know. We'll see. But been great. And like I said, have a good Tuesday. Hit that like, thumbs up. Patreon, of course, I do a post show on there. So if you want to support the Patreon, links are down below. Or if you want to become a member, we do a members only stream after every Wednesday. Great stuff, and you guys are awesome. And have a good rest of your night, and have a shot of tequila. All right, guys, talk to you later.